Andrew Berry met with the media for his pre-draft media gathering, talked about Nick Chubb's progress as well as the restructured contract.
With Nick in his rehab, I think you guys have heard me say he's really attacked it very aggressively, really since he's been able to in the fall. He's going at a good pace. It's still early. He actually started, running on land, this past week. That's not to say that, he's through the woods or anything, but he's doing everything in his power. He's progressing appropriately, but certainly the next few weeks, next few months will be big as we continue to increase the load that he's able to put on his knee, and then how much he's ultimately able to do during his training. I won't comment in detail on the contract, other than to say that I think that whenever you go through a situation like that, I think people think it's easy for like a club and agent to be adversarial, and with Nick's situation, I really applaud Nick and then his reps Todd Franson and AJ Stevens for being really collaborative partners and finding a solution that worked for everybody. I think everybody in this room is happy that Nick is back as a Cleveland Brown, and we're very optimistic that he's going to crush the rehab.
With that, let's welcome in Quincy Carrier, Untitled, Unfiltered Browns coverage. Quincy, this was the outcome we expected, but I talk a little bit about that. Then, what are realistic expectations for Nick Chubb coming back from that injury?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we thought would happen with Nick Chubb. We know that he's somebody who puts in the work in the offseason, regardless of if he's coming back from an injury. A lot of what rehabbing an injury is working out. We know Nick Chubb's great at working out. That's why he was able to bounce back from that knee injury he had in college. It sounds like he's going to be able to bounce back strong from here, and that he's reasonably ahead of schedule, not so far ahead that it gets concerning, right? When like Aaron Rodgers is talking about coming back for like 2 months after Achilles tear. That would be concerning if he were that ahead of schedule, if he were talking about playing or practicing right now. But, he's in a good place. As far as the expectations for Nick Chubb, I think it's going to be more situational than it's going to be more about the cumulative numbers, right? I think we're all kind of expecting that this might be a year where the cumulative numbers aren't great on Nick Chubb, or aren't what we expect from Nick Chubb, just because he's working back from this, and that, he might not get as many carries as he might have gotten in the years previous. But with him this year, you want to still feel like he's still an option on 3rd and short, that if you need to pound the game away late with 3 minutes left on the clock or 5 minutes left on the clock, that he could be a reliable option. Just those kind of things, if that's still there, it would still feel like Nick Chubb, and you'll still have what you need from Nick Chubb. And I think as he comes back from this injury, his role is going to be reduced a little bit, just because the Browns are moving in a more attacking direction on the offensive side of the ball. You just want Nick Chubb to be able to, be father time back there, right? If you need to kill 5 minutes, you got Nick Chubb there to kill 5 minutes.